I'm so excited because I have my dear friend who's a famous fashion designer in India, Tarun Tahiliani. He's going to be joining me live in about a minute. So I am going to invite him. And please feel free to ask us any questions, put it into the comment section, and let's learn all about him and what makes him tick and how he comes up with these amazing designs. Let's see if he's on right now. There he is. I guess it says we're waiting for him. Don't forget to put in your questions.
Bravo.
Hi.
How are you? Oh, I must move back a bit.
You look fantastic as always.
Thank you. I saw a wonderful photo that you posted of us at Lake Como, and I thought, damn, I never looked so slim in my life. That's a great photo.
Thank. I was thinking the same thing. I'm like, wait, who took this photo? We both look so fantastic in it.
We're like
But
outside.
but
We
I
love the
haven't
photo.
I haven't seen you since Lake Como, right? Like that was the last time we actually saw each other, correct?
And that was fun. And look at us now, sweltering in this whole different world, which is what I suppose we're going to talk about today, and give all the beautiful brides and grooms hope that they're still going to have wonderful weddings no matter what.
Well, first of all, I want to start out by telling you that I love you. Like, I have followed you for years and years and years. And just to be able to travel with you and call you my friend is such a privilege. And thank you so much for doing this. And I see everybody is starting to join, which is amazing. So thank you so much for doing this. Where are you right now? You're in what, in Delhi?
In Delhi, I'm at home. It's 8 p.m. I've just got
Wow.
back from a cooling day at this design studio. You know, we're in a big mess in India because there's
Yeah,
chaos.
it's
I mean,
it's
the
it's
globally,
unreal.
it's unreal because there's all this insecurity and people are just running away from the cities. They don't even know what they're running from. And we've opened at a fraction of capacity and we can't do a new thing because they're just all the old orders getting done and we're just desperate to get them out. I mean, everyone's life has been upended, upside down since the last 2 months. So we're just
That's
pushing
crazy.
brides out. I mean, what to do?
You know what, Taryn? I just wanted to let you know that I'm outside. So for whatever reason, if my phone just overheats because it's known to do that, then we'll pick back up. I'll call you back when we get inside. But
No problem. No problem.
just a little disclaimer because it's only like 104 degrees and it's only 7:30 in the morning here in Arizona. But I'm still trying to get used to the heat, and I think all my devices are still trying to get used to the heat. But tell me a little bit about how long you've been in business and how did you get started?
Well, actually, I studied at UPenn, as I think I might have told you.
Yeah, I didn't know
And
that.
all but what good Indian boys do to make my father happy. I went to Wharton School of Business, moved back to India, and luckily for me, I actually married my sweetheart from college, who grew
Oh,
up in
that's so
Long
cute.
Island, an Indian girl who grew up in Long Island, like all your clients. And so she moved back with me to the horror of her parents, who couldn't understand why they had moved to migrated to the US to see their only daughter move back to
What?
India.
That's crazy.
And uh, it was a few years later that Pia Kardai came to town and she went to try and help. And they asked her to model and the rest. I went to my first fashion show and we just realized we both love design. And so we started India's first multi-brand boutique called Ensemble, which in those days it didn't exist. It was a tailoring business and a textile business because everybody wore saris. So we were promoting Indian designers and the great work they were doing. And as you know, all the top American designers meeting is done in India. So there was Neil
True.
B.F. from Berghoff and Mary McFadden and Oscar de la Renta and all the designers' work was done here. So we were trying to engage the two cultures and say, can we show what's being done in India for the West and can we have what Indian designers designed for India? It was new. And from there, went off to study design. So I came back to FIT in New York in 91, which was grueling. And then I moved to Delhi where I set up my sort of eponymous design label. Now it's a studio and, now it's expanded and we do a lot of different things. So
You do
I've
a lot
really,
of different things. You're so modest and so understated. Every time I talk to you, you're like, "Oh, we just have like this little design studio in Delhi." It's kind of crazy. So a lot of our brides right now are, they're wondering, what do they do about their clothes? How do they do their fittings? How do they get, I mean, what is going on there and what advice can you give to our brides?
but the thing is, it must be very stressful for them.
Of
And I
course,
know
yeah.
Yeah, I totally get it. And, I mean, you've got, firstly, everyone's working these days. You have time, at least the designers used to come and go. And hopefully we will do that by the end of the year. I was meant to be there last week, as you know.
Yeah.
But everything's now on hold and no one can travel and no one's going to travel when there's a quarantine. And brides certainly can't. My suggestion is to hook up with the designers they want to work with. We're all setting up very nice sales with our top couture and top salespeople who will be adjusting their hours to suit brides in the United States, for instance, and grooms who will walk them through things. So today we did our first couture appointment in the studio, in the design studio, the atelier, where all the mannequins were dressed with panels and Mansha explained different things to them and showed them processes. So once they narrow down things they like, then we'll start with sketches. At least now with technology, we can do a lot of live streaming back and forth.
Very
You can
true.
Zoom and be in a bridal appointment. What you'll miss is the touch and feel. I do get it. But, you have to understand, you have to be as specific as you can be. And what we will do, hopefully, if it's not too far, and if it's next year, I think brides should be okay. But if it's this year, then what we do is we do sketches, we make a little swatch in the color. But it's easier for brides abroad to look at things that they've seen so they know what it looks like rather than having to visualize something. And once they've agreed and they want something, what we would do at our studios, we would get them to measure themselves, and somebody would supervise it from here, and then we would do a toile, muslin underfitting like they do at the French couture houses, both of the lehenga or the
Amazing.
cholis, and then we courier it to them so they can try it and we're watching. So while we're not there physically, but this is as good as it can get, so we will have things, somebody pin it, mark it, make a little this thing, and we're clicking it so our master cutters are watching it too. And then the toile comes back, and then we do the fitting based on that. And of course, if we're not going to be there for a final fitting, then we'll do little tricks like you can put power net in to make you so that it can hold you a little tighter. You have a little flexibility in the garment, by power nets, by invisible straps, little clever things. And then when you're being fitted, again, somebody would attend the fitting from here and help you with it.
That's
That's the best.
amazing.
But it is amazing. And let me tell you, even Martin, the two most stressful fittings in New York were Martin and Amit because they were doing, one was doing a fully embroidered tux and one was doing a sherwani. And menswear is very tailored, it's not forgiving. And we did precisely this. The toile went, it came back, their fittings were perfect.
I know
I
they
mean,
look
that
so amazing, and that
they were
those
yours.
designs were like,
So, the thing is, it is possible. What it means is you need a little more time and a little more patience. And you need to connect with somebody. So, like you were saying today, whichever designer you decide to go with, instead of going through this process, which is very tedious with 4 or 5 different people, work with one or two because then all your body slopers and all get done at one place. Once somebody understands your fit, they're not likely to, you're not going to have a problem. Because the worst thing is for somebody to get something and find it doesn't fit. That's a panic attack, whether you're in India or New York or wherever.
correct. And I think that these fittings, of course, are so important. These are like your wedding outfits, right? And everybody gets so emotional.
Girls have grown up wearing beautifully tailored things in America. It's not like in India where you want, things from a local tailor. Everything you wear in Western clothing is fitted. You know what fit is. You know what
Yeah.
feels right. And you know when you feel comfortable. And something beautifully cut can make you look a whole size smaller. So
Which is
it's
so
not about
important.
it's the most important. Yeah, everybody wants to look size. So
Everybody wants to look
it's
smaller, of course.
a thing to have clothes that fit and sit beautifully. You're going to wear these things for hours. You want to be comfortable. You want to glow. You don't want to be, embroidery's pulling here. Oh my God, I'm getting poked as I hear this often with the new things. Oh my, I can't walk with the crinoline. Well, these things are not good enough. And I also advise brides today, if you're going to go through all this trouble, then we kind of typically will do with the skirt, we'll do a satin shirt. With the choli, we'll do something else. So you get 2, 3 outfits after that. So you break this up for the future. And I think that's a very important part of A, that not worrying about what you spend. And also it makes it sustainable because you're going to use these clothes. If your
Yeah.
bridal becomes 3 outfits, that you are much lighter for you to wear to a black tie, to a friend's wedding, so much the better, isn't it?
It's amazing.
So
I was on your Instagram this morning just checking out your designs, and like in everything that's happening in the world, you need inspiration. You need to see happy, beautiful things. And I went
always,
on your Instagram this morning and I was floored at the designs and the colors. And tell me a little bit about what you're doing as far as the designs, your new collection, what's happening with what
Well,
you're putting out there.
just for, we were celebrating our 25th year of this studio.
Oh,
And so
wow.
right here,
Congratulations.
on the 21st of February, I'd invited all the press up from Bombay, and we've flown them all up, and they spent the day at the studio. It's all there on Instagram. And then we brought them for cocktails, and then we took them to the Qutub Minar, which is the most beautiful heritage site in Delhi, at 7 p.m. after champagne, and they walked around, and there were live models floating around, and then we had a great rocking party here at the house. And it was meant to lead to the book launch and all these things in August. Everything's on hold. So our spring, our ready-to-wear collections and the bridal collections are ready. We're now working on the couture pieces, which are more bespoke and one of a kind. So let me explain to you. With most designers, you have two things. You have what's in the stores, and anyone can go and order that, or you can do bespoke. Well, they will make sure that nobody in your community has the same color shapes. Not that I think in America that's really an issue.
But it's so
So
important. It's very important to be very unique
it's
and have that
it's
one of a
about
kind piece.
so like say Martin and Ahmed, they wanted something that nobody else had. It had to be so specific, or people have an idea, but both work equally well. And also, often people have budgets, and they want to do rent to wear, so that's okay. The quality doesn't suffer, but when you do it bespoke, it's fully customized to you, and you do the whole toile process. Though right now, because people can't try, I've told the stores that for all bridals from America and the UK, please send the toile in advance, because I don't want any bride to be in this panic
Of
because the
course.
dart is off. It's just not worth it. It's a small marginal extra cost, and it's worth it to do, for peace of mind and for somebody to look great. So what we do is we're working on the couture, so we're hand painting all these lehengas based on the old,
Amazing.
Scottish Indian paisleys in the most subtle colors. Because I'm also finding now this whole look of being in this over red, over Indian princess look is a bit over. I think as people have grown up in the West, and it's happening in India now, as they wear Western clothes, their taste is becoming a little more sophisticated, a little more toned down. Um, they want to be more in character with the way they are. And if you girls are Western a lot of the time, I don't think you're like actresses that you have to play a role. Even your Indian sensibility becomes as beautiful, as detailed, but more pale and sophisticated. Or when you do bright colors, you do less work.
Yeah.
I find the of too much embroidery, too much, it's just too much, it's sensory overload. And I think there's a different sensibility. I see a lot of your brides wearing beautiful, weddings and parties at the plaza, just a pair of earrings with a beautiful gown. And to me, that's modern. They're
It's so
dressing for taste,
classic. It's so beautiful.
not to just put 5 necklaces on because that's a very nouveau thing that people do. You should dress to be beautiful and sophisticated and chic. So I find a lot of young girls, a lot of young brides moving in that direction. They have a very strong point of view. They want to be corseted. They want to be comfortable. They want to, and like same with the men, they're wearing Tom Ford suits and Armani. They know
Love
what
it.
something's meant, right? So your
Love it.
Sherwani should be as beautiful. So we're trying to give the Indian modern take on these things, where we sometimes bring in pattern cutters from Milan and from the UK, and they work with our master cutters. Of course, nobody can teach the Indians embroidery. I mean, that is our
That's
forte for the
true.
globe. So we're now working. We're setting up our top sales and design heads to work directly with brides because it's also very reassuring.
Well,
And listen, I understand. Sorry, for a bride who's grown up in New York, she won't know so much about textiles. I mean, there's limited knowledge, so you need someone to guide you, educate you, look at you, and help you.
and I think that it's amazing that you can do all of this online, especially with everything that's going on today, because that outfit, those pieces are going to be classic. This is what you're going to remember your wedding by, and I think that it is an investment, but at the end of the day, it's your all eyes are on you, right? And I
It's
tell
your
my
history,
brides,
but so now, what's happening in India now? So there are some weddings. I mean, there was a bride who was getting married in end April. Of course, she had to push it. The bride's getting pushed. Now they said, listen, we don't care. We're going to do the wedding even with the family. We want the bride and groom's clothes to be exquisite because what are
of
we going
course,
to have? Some people will attend by Zoom, but that's the one thing we're going to take away for the rest of our life and we're going to show. So my thing is now that weddings might be smaller for a while because of social distancing, they might be smaller, but they're going to spend even more money to make them even more exquisite because it's a smaller group. They will then send photographs out. They will have people attend by, you know, Zoom or whatever. And once this whole nightmare is over, they'll probably have one amazing kick-ass, fantastic black tie into whatever night, you know.
Yeah.
But the wedding is the one thing now, and that's super special. Probably not going to have a Sangeet with 40 people. You know, you'll do those big events later or in time to come, or do many small events. But I think that everything's going to be more special and precious. And also the pressure, because you have, like in India at least, thousands of people isn't there to be blinged. You're going to be super chic. You're
Of
going to be
course.
what you want. I think that's nice.
It's
Take a silver
beautiful.
lining.
And that's what I love about you. There's always a silver lining in everything, and you seem to find it. And
Have to.
you make so many people so happy. And I think it's amazing what you do. I think
It's
that
one of the privileges.
well, I mean, I
So
think all it's a privilege for all of us to work on people's weddings. You know, it's their most special day, and it's something that their families have just looked forward to. I mean, I have a 6-year-old. I'm already planning this little girl's wedding in my head, right? So it's something that you dream about ever since,
the
you know,
good
you once you
one
have
year for you fantasy out so that your daughter's wedding. Mm.
my daughter's like, I know, right? It's so crazy to even think about. But I'm glad that you took this time to be able to talk to us. And I just wanted our viewers to be able to know that, you know, even though India is shut down, you're up and running, you're taking orders, you're, you know, fulfilling these brides' beautiful, beautiful wedding fantasies of their dresses. And I think that
They'll,
it's amazing.
they'll be walked through in a way. Let's hope we can make it even more special because it has to be so much more personalized than rushing through. They have time, they can do it sitting there. And we'll be happy to send you a link to connect whoever's interested to 2 or 3 people. It'll be on our Instagram and they can look it up. And if this resonates, and I'm sure other people will do it too. So good luck, all you beauties, with all the fun. Don't make it less fun. Make the most of it.
Well, and you know what I was surprised about? Just an ending thought. Like I know you personally, and you know we've gotten to know each other so well over the couple of years that I've known you, and the many brides that we've worked together with. But I was on your Instagram this morning, and like the amount of celebrities, Bollywood, Hollywood that you have dressed, I am like, this is insane. It's crazy, and you're so modest and you're so humble, and I love that about you. And I
But
go to your Instagram page if you want to see every single Bollywood celebrity on there, and you've dressed them all. It's fantastic.
time to come. Well, you know, they're beautiful, but there are many more super chic women. They're wonderful women who nobody knows who dress real luxuries when you dress for yourself. And I learn more from these girls. There are a lot of super cool people. And for me, this whole celebrity thing is one circus, but there's a whole world, great world of great luxury and beauty that everyone is part of. And, you know, it's just something to talk about. I mean, it's just, it's there. It's no one's better or worse, you know.
Well,
So it was great talking.
I started my Thursday on such a positive note. It's only like 7:45 in the morning, and I just feel like the world's like a better place because of your fashion and your designs. And thank you for
Thank you
bringing us
so
so much joy and happiness. Be well, take care. Talk to you soon.
You too. Thank
Bye.
you.
Bye.